This is cute too. The hunter being hunted. I have a problem with talking. Back in the 60s I did a hit of acid. And sometimes I can't get out the words I want to. Oh, there's a lot of things that I wish I could do over. Like, I wish I hadn't been in the right place at the wrong time. I got hit by a car when I was 17, and you can see the scar where the bone protruded, and that was back before they did the rods and everything like that, and my leg's crooked. And if I'd have just been 2 or 3 seconds earlier, I'd never got hit. I have a brother and sister, but they were both out and gone, so I'm basically a late life baby. And my father and mother both were in their 40s when I was born. So, and my dad he didn't want any kids or anything. He didn't want me to, he didn't want me to be out with a bunch of kids. And I grew up in a little town of 1,200 people where everybody knows everybody else. I don't have any really fond memories. Interrupt them. And this is like a montage of old of old movie stars. Of course, Don Bluth, San Francisco, presidents. That's all in that one. I was a nurse for 28 years. Then I was a cosmetologist for about 5. My dad and I didn't get along, so when I was 13, I went to live with my brother and his wife up in Indiana. Then I was 16, my sister-in-law and I got into it, and I left, and I wound up in California. And I was out there, when Manson was doing his dirty work. You know who I'm talking about? And then I went from there to Dallas, and I lived there for about 6 years. Then I went to Florida. I stayed there for 30 years. I was working at one of the hospitals there in Florida when the tornado come through High Point School there in Clearwater, or right around Clearwater. And this little boy, he was 7 years old, and they thought he was dead. And they had laid him over with the dead kids, and somebody detected emotion. And when they brought him into the hospital, when I seen him the first time, he had tubes going in everywhere. And I took care of him, and I saw him come back from a lifeless little doll to a very active little boy. And his dad would stay all night with him, and his mom would stay in the daytime. And what really makes you feel good, about 4 months after he was released, I was working the night shift, and about as long as the one down here, and I saw somebody getting off of the elevator, a man and a boy, and he saw me, and he run and jumped up in my arms. You think that don't make you feel good? Because every morning when I'd leave, I'd go in and kind of box with him in his crib. In '89, I brought my mother back here to be with her sister. She was dying of cancer, and I just never did leave. I had my first heart attack, and then I had 2 more after that, and diabetes, the usual stuff. And here, I moved here, and I've been here a year and a half, and I have yet to have a visitor. I'm related to half of Allen County. You know, relatives and stuff like that. And I've got a lot of nephews and nieces that lives here in Bowling Green, but I've never seen them. I figure they don't want me in their life. I think they all considered me, everybody, well, my family always considered me the black sheep of the family because I never adhered to their mold. I've been married 4 times. I was 16 and I met this girl, and believe it or not, I was married twice because her uncle, we were both 16, and I was living in California, and her uncle took us to Mexico and got us married. And when we come back, her mother put on a big wedding. I mean, big wedding. Like the Hearsts were there, Patty Hearst, and people like that. And that lasted 4 years, and she was killed in a car wreck. My second one was actually, okay, a bunch of us, I was living in Dallas, and a bunch of us flew to Mexico for the weekend, and I wound up married to her. I woke up and there's the marriage license on the table. I know, it's funny. And couldn't find out her parents owned half a county in Texas. But that didn't last. Of course, let's see, I was married in May, and the 1st of July it was annulled. Then there was Linda. She's here from here in Bowling Green. And we got together, and oh Lord. And then there's Betty, my last one. And what's crazy is all 4 of them are dead. But my last one and I, we got together, and was actually jealousy broke us up. Dragons. I love dragons. I love Thomas Kincaid paintings. And a friend of mine's going to put it together. And it's got the frame and the lights and everything. Can you imagine meeting up with that thing? I don't think I'd want to. I've been in a movie. I was an extra in the movie Logan's Run, but you can't see me. Back when I was early 20s, I was a go-go boy. I used to do a lot more things than I do now, though. And I've got probably around 80,000 pictures on disc that I can go to. And like that set of pictures behind you I made. Those wallpapers. Well, I made these pictures too. And that's my mother, by the way. And I just come up with pictures. Because you can get them off the internet, like you can get anything you want off the internet. That's my cat. That's baby. He died of old age 2 years ago. 14 years old. And he was mean at times too. He had his own set ways, and he didn't like kids. He had his own pillow. This was given to me by a good friend of mine. Oh.